I often have these little moments when I follow the discourse around a fandom, be it the opinion over a character's writing or the thematic overtones of a narrative, where I realize I'm diverging from most other people on this. I'm the outlier. I'm the weirdo. And it makes me sad to see that the title of this video is one such opinion. In light of Jujutsu Kaisen's ending, a lot of people are rather crestfallen, to say the least. The series was, for a time, one of the biggest on the goddamn planet. In a dazzlingly short amount of time, this newbie on the field came to stand out among the One Pieces and MHAs of Shonen. And like many of its predecessors, Jujutsu Kaisen takes a sharp downturn in quality after a certain point. Most people agree that point is the Shibuya arc. All the planning and scheming done by the villains comes to fruition, completely undoing the heroes and their society in one massive, dramatic explosion of tragedy that's emotionally devastating and narratively rewarding. And that was where the story peaked. I try to avoid determinate statements like that, but I strongly doubt anyone will contest it. Nothing afterwards in Jujutsu Kaisen's mainline plot ever feels as powerful or rewarding as Shibuya. A lot of people blame the manga's author, Geiji Akutami, for dropping the ball. I don't know. Maybe Akutami got burned out. Maybe the pressure of skyrocketing to such popularity got to him. Maybe the manga industry's grueling work expectations cracked him. I've never met the man. I don't know why the story went the way it did, and we probably never will. But here's what I do know. In this scene where Yaga demands to know why Yuji wants to be a sorcerer, he gives an utterly fantastic answer. Because he's responsible for Sukuna. No one else can fix the issue that is this monster. If he just left and went about his life, he'd never be at peace. Always thinking about how many people were suffering because he didn't do what needed to be done to stop him. And I love that. Yuji really won me over as a protagonist, having values and a conscience, and making the noble choice to stand against evil when no one else could. That determinism, that agency, it's not something we get a whole lot of out of our shonen protagonists. And the whole cast was like this. Gojo may be a goofball trickster mentor that no one respects, but he's genuinely insightful and wise, even predicting the fact that the power levels at play in the setting were about to skyrocket to the point that the grade system would be made obsolete. He's genuinely well written as a smart character, predicting the motivations and plans going on around him with a sharpness that comes off as genuine intelligence. Megumi may be your standard broody rival best friend character, but he's a masterful execution of that archetype. He has a genuine bond with Yuji with emotional payoffs, while also having his own scenes to prove himself, his own growth, his own wins that he earns, not pity fights thrown his way just to keep him relevant. And Nobara, okay, Nobara got shafted, I won't contest that. But goddamn, look at the history of shonen. Look at Bulma, Orihime, Sakura. The women of shonen have been getting underutilized for a long, long time. And I'm not saying that's something we should put up with, far from it. But actually look back on Nobara's arc. She has her own distinct powers that separate her from the other two members of the main trio, but she still stands equal to the boys. She's tough and a fighter with her own character arc that ties into her genuinely heart-touching bonds with the rest of the cast. And that's not something we've always gotten with our female leads. Yes, things could have been better, but they've also gotten better. And maybe while we should always push for better, we should also appreciate how far we've come. And this compelling character writing is all over the place. Even tertiary characters that overall don't matter much have their own hooks to latch onto you. Panda's existence as a sapient object and all the questions about personhood that come with it. The responsibility that falls on Inumaki for his ability. Norotoshi's resentment of the Zenin clan, but willingness to submit to their culture, all in parallel to Maki's defiance of them. It goes on and on and on, even past the Shibuya arc, with characters like Hikari and Chozo. Maybe these characters didn't ring with you personally. Maybe you didn't even remember their names until I mentioned them. But for a shonen series to have such a wide cast, and give each one of them their own moments to shine, is a hell of an accomplishment. We got here for a reason. We fell in love with this series for a reason. We miss how good it could have been because we saw how good it was. With its setting, with its power system, with the characters that populate this world. We cared. And I still do. I love Jujutsu Kaisen. And I think for all its faults, it deserves that love.